What's going on, guys? It's been a while, but we are back in full. We got the whole crew in the house. Shout out to Brian Andrews, shout out to Young Baka and myself, Quincy Jones. Go. This is For the Love of Wrestling, the Flow Show. How you guys been, man? It's been a long week, long couple weeks, I'd say. Right?
A long couple weeks for wrestling, or just in life in general?
Well, I think just this week felt so long, dude. Just trying to get here.
I think it's been a long 2020.
Right.
Yeah, bro. It's funny you say that, but then like half the year's already gone. We're officially in July now, so
I feel like every time I feel like I'm about to get like comfortable with my lifestyle, something comes up that just throws the whole thing out of whack. That has to be Young Baka's life for the last like 6 years.
Honestly, I mean, he got people making sure he can't throw shows right now. He got people just hating on him.
You have Gavin Newsom's number on speed dial right now, or
I mean, we could do a whole Twitter tirade. Right. I heard that works. We can get him canceled that way, right?
Sushi tags Gavin Newsom in every single show that we do. So we're doing a show. We do a thing called Barbershop Series. We post up at a barbershop, different barbershop every week. We have live performances. This dude's looking in the cab and he says, "Gavin Newsom, you ain't never gonna fucking stop us. We're going. And he tags him on Instagram too. So I think someone's gonna show up at my door one day. Hey, you guys keep tagging me. You don't think I'm gonna see it? I hope Gavin Newsom. I'll have this COVID thing finished in 20 minutes, man.
We're not a big political podcast, but I'm a big Gavin Newsom guy.
Okay, so. I know. No Black Lives Matters, no COVID talk. I got you, plan. Here's an interesting stat.
We can't talk about the water in Flint.
Yeah,
the kids.
Scientists, we got to keep it cool.
We can't. It's a sports centric show, guys. You guys are a little bit. You're cutting it.
If we're not talking about the Performance Center or Daly's Place, then
you know what? I got a segue now. There's officially about 30 cases. I'm pretty sure it's doubled that because, they're not giving out the numbers as soon as they know them. But there's about 30 cases positive of COVID at the PC now. I mean, at what point do you just stop running shows for a while,
dude,
right?
At least 3 weeks, right? Close it down.
I would think, yeah. Like, I mean, and it's not like, dude, they have a network and they can play old, footage or do something, man. I mean, 30 people's a lot, dude. That's like almost half of one show.
In Dade County, Miami, they're at a 33.5% infection rate. So that means 1/3 of the people in Dade County
That's insane.
have it. And I think Dade County is about 5-6 hours away from the Performance Center, but that still is crazy,
Well, like all the rappers are probably, they ain't practicing, freaking the Rick Rosses and the youngs.
I don't think Rick Ross has been in Dade County in a long time.
I'm pretty sure him and Trick Daddy. Yeah, there's a few.
Listen. Gun to my head. Do you think Trick Daddy has COVID-19 or not? I'll say 100% Trick Daddy has COVID.
Well, you know what? To be real,
I know for a fact Trick Daddy has COVID.
To be real though, he definitely is 100%. And that's not a statistic. I'm just saying, in my opinion, 100% more susceptible to it because he already has his.
100%, yes.
You know what I mean? So, yeah he needs to.
Just look at it, man. And he talks about eating ass all the time. Trick
that's
Daddy doesn't
true.
seem like
that's the easiest way to get it, right?
That's the easy way to get it. Same as Pink Eye, from what I hear. I don't know for sure.
Crazy stuff, man. So I'm going to
tell you right now,
time, man.
We're a wrestling podcast, but we're the only podcast in the United States who is talking about Trick Daddy right now.
Oh yeah,
in the whole month.
Trick,
Trick Daddy's gonna search his own name and he's gonna find our podcast.
He's gonna find our podcast.
I guarantee you, Trick Daddy.
And then he may even be like, you know what? Because of y'all, I got an account on Cameo now. Come holler at me. I got you, boys. Anytime y'all want to come out to the 305.
Let's talk about one of the greatest wrestlers on the planet right now. My boy Keith Lee, two-time champ, baby, right?
Yeah, congrats. I mean, I was gonna say, we had actually a conversation about this.
Excited about this.
Yeah, well, I remember we had a conversation like what, our second or third episode about some of the call-ups, and then we were talking like if anyone was gonna beat Cole. I mean, I know for sure. I think we were thinking like either Velveteen or Keith Lee. Obviously, that was 2 allegations ago, but
well, we were. Our argument was we thought it should be, or we wanted it to be Keith Lee. We just didn't think they'd pull the trigger on it because he was.
Yeah. Well, I definitely didn't think they would pull the trigger and make him a double champ. That was a portion of it I didn't see coming at all. But
especially with the Killer Kross stuff, like.
Yeah, I don't know. I just gotta say with Killer Kross, I like Kross. I know what Kross is about. We've booked him before. Tremendous promo, tremendous in ring, great package with
see that little
Scarlett
flex
Bordeaux.
You see that? Oh yeah, we booked him before. We know what he's about. We booked him before. What a flex, huh? What a
he's from our side of
how
town.
impressive is that?
All I was gonna say in all of that was I was gonna end it by saying this is a lot too soon for Kross, in my opinion.
Well, how about this, man? 11 out of the 15 top titles in WWE, 11 of them are owned by minorities. Black, yellow, we're doing our thing, man. Black, yellow, and brown. I know Brian's not happy about that, but I think it's amazing, man.
Well, Drew McIntyre's one of them, right? So
I think he's happy about he's definitely happy about Drew Mc. Well, yeah, Drew McIntyre's Scottish.
Yeah, he's white, not like American.
Yeah, he's European white.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about how good that segment was with Slater and Drew McIntyre.
You wanted to start talking about Keith Lee? We didn't even get to that.
I know.
I'm just excited.
It was a long week.
I love wrestling.
Shout out, congrats to Keith Lee though. Like, I enjoyed the match. I mean, I didn't see, to be honest, like just based on his size, I couldn't see Adam Cole like winning. Especially if he didn't have Undisputed out there to help him win, like he usually does. But happy for Keith Lee. I thought that they should have maybe waited a week before they showed Karrion Kross. I felt like if they were going to show anybody at the end after his celebration, it should have been Triple H that came out to like give him that on-screen, point and all that.
So,
but yeah, I don't know. I just think it's a little bit too soon for Kross. Like, he had a high-profile match against Ciampa that kind of delivered, in my opinion. I don't know what kind of match they were trying to put out there, but it didn't do anything for me. But then he's only had two other matches against Bronson Reed,
and
then
I
he's
like Bronson Reed a lot, by the way.
I do, I like him so much. I keep calling him by his indie name on accident, which is Jonah Rock. And every time I do, Doc has to correct me because I never remember.
So let me ask you this, because if I
were in the business, that's why,
Baca's internet connection is covered right
now.
It's not that bad. It's
okay.
Let me ask you this: when Killer Kross was part of Impact, he was basically just an upper mid card guy, right?
Yeah, he I don't think he ever. I think he teased. He had one shot at the title against, I think it was Johnny Impact, because he was playing like he was like protecting him and the title so he can get a shot. But other than that, yeah, he was doing a lot of like exhibition matches, like gimmick matches against big names though, and he made a pretty good name for himself in Impact. But yeah, that's why I'm kind of I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. He doesn't have the look of a guy that can eventually get there. But right away, I was kind of like, well, I mean, you got other guys that are ominous too, like Aleister Black, that didn't get a right away push like that as far as straight to the picture, title picture. But I think they need to work him into the title picture. But then again, they don't have a full deck that they're working with, so who can realistically take the loss?
Well,
they got like Kona Reeves and shit, but
when I'll be honest with you, if he takes the North American Championship off of Keith Lee, I won't be upset. But if he takes the NXT Championship off of Keith Lee, I'll be pretty annoyed.
That's different. Yeah. That's a whole different story.
So, like, if they do TakeOver SummerSlam weekend or just the next TakeOver, and it's Karrion Kross, and maybe Keith Lee has 2 matches that same night, and he for whatever reason, they decided to do the NXT Championship match first. And
you mean like how they did like the Seth Rollins, where he had to defend like the WWE and the US? Yeah, I remember that.
Or it could be like, I don't know. I'm probably overthinking it, but like he drops the title to Karrion Kross, but he retains the NXT Championship in one day.
I could see that, where he has two title defenses, 2 matches, 2 different opponents, but like 2 different outcomes at the same time. I mean, because realistically, how long is he going to win? Is he going to hold both titles? For as far as Keith Lee. I mean, that's a good thing about him with the North American Championship. But there's a ton of guys in that division that he could drop it to that would do good business with too. So I
I honestly thought Priest was going to be the next.
I was thinking, to be honest, I really wanted Dijakovic to finally get that thing. You know, he's been doing this whole mission statement about making his family proud and having an honor in his family and trying to, you know, bring this prestige to his family, and it's like he hasn't done it. You know, that's why I thought it was weird that they were already going to move him up to the main roster when he hasn't really done nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if at the SummerSlam weekend it's Kross versus Lee for the North American Championship and Cole versus Lee for the NXT Championship, and then Cole officially moves up. But I heard he might move up sooner.
Well, I mean, it was. I saw a tweet that Triple H had in. I think it was a comment to, or more like a compliment for Adam Cole and everything he did for the NXT Championship. But the way he worded it was like he's hashtag NXT, like, and there's no doubt about it. I'm like, meaning, is he next? Is he next up? Like, is he? I mean, because what else does he have left to do? I mean, but then again, Undisputed Era without Adam Cole is like, I don't know. I don't know if I could do that.
I have an interesting question. What are you drinking on, Ryan? That looked like a big soda.
Well, it's Coke, man.
Just a solid 64 ounce of Coke in the middle of the day. Living the dream, baby. Living the dream. Not letting COVID stop you. You know,
from being refreshed.
I'm just crashing my immune system.
You know, it's not often you see this guy pull this jug of soda. But I really enjoyed the match, man. I know you guys are AEW guys, but I think NXT been.
I don't know.
I
think you're an AEW guy now.
Yeah, I know. You know,
I'm not gonna lie.
Just I own 25 AEW T-shirts. Don't assume that.
I'm just saying.
NXT.
So if I see you with a bunch of John Cena shirts, don't just assume that you think he's the best Patriot in America. Then, right?
If NXT has beaten AEW in the ratings 3 weeks in a row, and I'll admit they deserve it in each week.
I don't know. I don't know. Like that. I don't know, dude. Like.
I'm not okay. Maybe last week AEW was better. I'll admit that, but I think the week before when they had the triple threat match.
Yeah, no, that for sure. Like I was gonna say, I don't want it to come off as just my opinion, but as far as like what was a quote unquote better show, but when I was watching both shows last week, only one of them really actually felt like a pay-per-view. The other one felt like it was NXT, just with cars in front of it, which was Great American Bash. Like the first night, it didn't really like the first night of Great American Bash. Didn't really actually feel like a pay-per-view to me. It was almost like when AEW did Bash at the Beach, but it was still AEW Dynamite. You know what I mean? It was like a themed episode. It felt like it was a themed episode of NXT rather than an actual special event or like a pay-per-view. Even though Fyter Fest technically wasn't a pay-per-view, I mean, it was free. I mean, it was free last year too. I feel like they had a better night. In terms of like, I mean, they had a straight pay-per-view, dude. Like the Cody and Jake Hager, they had the tag team championships on the line. We also had even this week we had Taz. I was gonna ask you, what do you think about Taz bringing up that new or not the new one, but the old school FTW championship? Not a fan?
It's to me they should.
Not a fan. That's a no for me.
I had an idea that they were gonna maybe try to do an interim championship match, and then have Brian Cage win it and face Jon Moxley at All Out or something.
That's what we were saying too. Like, I just give it to him, and it's not a good look to just give it to him.
But like, who like, I can't. I don't care. Like it was to me, like going back to your original statement was. I feel like day one of Fyter Fest was a pay-per-view, and day two was just an episode of Dynamite. Yes,
I agree. I
don't think it was good at all. I didn't like it at all.
Night two wasn't bad. Like Doc was saying, he felt like it was a little tag heavy. I didn't mind another tag championship match, but to be honest, I mostly watched the second night because of Orange Cassidy and Jericho, and then the Young Bucks 8-man tag match. You know what I mean? But yeah, you're right. Like I can definitely say the same. Like I felt the same with NXT. Like NXT, I felt had a better feel as a pay-per-view this week, whereas like you're saying, Dynamite just felt like Dynamite, and vice versa. But let me ask you, Baca, because I know you got ties in New York, the Red Hook section, supposedly.
You know. That's all my guys, PK,
Googling
Billy the Marks, Brownsville. Rest in peace, King Shooter. Rest in peace, Fred the Godson.
There you go.
What's popping?
There you go. Rest in peace, Stack Bundles over there in Far Rockaway as well. I just had to drop that in. That's Queens though. But anyways, why do you not like the title? Or is it the title or just the whole angle?
I think the angle is what set it off, and then you come with this ugly belt that got over 25 years ago, and we give WWE so much garbage and so much trash and such a hard time for living in the past. Taz brought the title back that's 25 years old.
But it's his belt, so he can do what he wants.
I hear what you're saying, man. But
but it's funny. But in that same breath, WWE barely changed one of their championships just recently.
Yeah, 100%, and it looks amazing. Can we all agree the new U.S. title looks great?
It looks better.
Yeah, I won't say it's like 10 times better, but it's definitely 8 times better.
I wish the WWE and the Universal Championship looked like the United States Championship. I'll say that.
I'm just like, dude, the WWE Championship just looks like a huge belt buckle that you would get for a kid that watches wrestling. It just says W on it, and then a champion. Like there's no plating, there's no eagle on it, there's no United States on it, there's no globe on it. Like I need my old school. Like I miss that big. One of my favorite belts is the WWE, like the big belt, the one that Stone Cold and The Rock and Taker had. And then then they went to the Undisputed Era one, or not Undisputed. I'm sorry, the Undisputed Championship that Taker and like Brock made famous, which that was cool too. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like this is definitely probably one of the better belts that they've made over the years. Not that I wasn't a fan of the Intercontinental title, but it looked too much like other belts for it to be original. Like if you guys have time to do the research, like check out like the IC title looks like a belt from like Progress or Lucha Underground. It's just so.
I think it looks amazing.
I'm not. It's just some like the same as like the U.S. title. I like the U.S. title, but the writing I'm not too much of a fan of. Again.
And you know what? The U.S. title looks amazing in pictures, but on TV, it doesn't capture that well.
That's what's crazy. Yeah, I was going to say, on TV, they made it look like it was like a toy.
Yeah.
Like something you could buy at Toys R Us or something. Or, I'm sorry, I guess not Toys R Us. Amazon.com, huh? Walmart? Is that where we're going with it?
Yeah.
Can't bring up old defunct companies like Taz.
I just feel like, how should I put this? Brian Cage's character is becoming more about Taz than it is about Brian Cage, and I'm not buying into Brian Cage.
100%.
Like, and I never bought in when he won the chip. I was like, I wish somebody else won the chip actually, because Brian Cage coming into his first match and then getting a shot, just like the Karrion Kross situation. It's like, we're trained mentally that our wrestlers need build up.
And that's my thing is like not everyone is gonna know who he is right away, and to just warrant just an automatic build that way, because you got other guys that are just as jacked that aren't built that way. Like freaking Wardlow wasn't booked that way. Freaking Luchasaurus isn't booked that way. You know what I mean? But yeah, I was surprised that they had him win. I wasn't against him being the surprise entrant because obviously he had been rumored to sign with the company earlier in the year. So, great way to get you to forget about him and bring him back. But for him to win the first time, I thought that was kind of crappy. And I mean, when you think about it, if you push him.
AEW was built. AEW told us we are a legitimate sports, or we are a legitimate league. We go by wins and losses. So obviously that's not correct, right?
Well, he won the match. So
I hear what you're saying, man. But it's the same thing with the best friends.
The tag division is.
AEW hasn't been sticking with what they said that they were going to do.
I think
we're going to separate them from everybody
I think
else.
what they did is they didn't know who was going to be available due to everything going on, so they just were trying to like still book a good show. But then it just didn't make any sense, because one week they said one thing and the next week is different, and the next week they refer back to the week before, then they do something different again. It was just weird. It's like if a team has a tag championship 2 weeks away, they don't really have the champions risk losing it before that match. You know what I mean? Like it's usually it was just weird. I remember they were in the crowd watching Hangman Page and Omega defend the titles before their match, and I was like, but their match got signed first. I don't even understand why they even got to wait. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. They gotta brush up a little bit more and enforce more that wins and loss shit before they keep popping off at the mouth with it. Because it's the same thing with like the tag division. They have a great tag division, but if they don't follow the rules, I can't believe that Aubrey is gonna be blind every single time that they're gonna do like a 3-man. You know what I mean? There's certain things they gotta tighten up for sure. They definitely gotta tighten.
My thing is, it's difficult to make a power ranking and then also value a blood feud on the side, especially if it's involving maybe the first contender, the number one contender, and maybe like the fourth contender. And then all of a sudden, like, does the second and third guy move up because these guys are busy?
Yeah,
and
I was gonna say,
this stuff's not really being explained. Like, you have possibly 3 out of the 4 best tag teams in your division in an 8-man tag match, and they're not facing Hangman and Kenny Omega, and we're trying. And like, to be honest, they should have continued maybe the Young Bucks feud now that the Young Bucks are back, and just continue that
with Omega and
right, and then let FTR still build up the ladder. Like, you could hint at the Young Bucks. But you don't have to rush that right now.
No, not at all. Like, dude, I don't think Tony is in any hurry to like give that money away. I think they're playing it smart. I mean, I was surprised if they had them team up. But you're right, because the whole time I was thinking, I'm like, well, Lucha Bros looking good. They're finally back. You know, they weren't together because I think Phoenix was in California and Pentagon was stuck in Mexico. So that's why they weren't seen on TV. But you know, they came back looking good. They got the win, but you would think, that would be kind of more emphasized. I mean, they do have a match next week against FTR, but it's just weird that, you know, none of those teams would have got, you know, moved up to get another tag shot or something like that. You know what I mean? But I digress. I mean, that's
what happens when you have
it's hard.
When you got that much cooks in the kitchen, those issues.
That's why they just need us 3, man, and we'll just break it down. You know, each of us will take a division. Each of us take a division, and then if Doc wants to come through, if Doc comes by, we'll have him do the FTW one because it's not important anyway.
I'll do the women's division because there's only 3 contenders, and I'll just recycle.
Can you just please just work to sign Tessa? Have you heard about this, by the way?
I've been hearing a lot. I might not know the latest news.
I heard that AEW, and I don't even know the specifics behind it, but there's been accusations that Tony Khan specifically is blackballing Tessa Blanchard right now.
I guess.
In what way, or but
my thing with AEW, I think Tessa is a cancer to probably a locker room, but still, like, in a situation where AEW's in, where their women's division's that weak, you need to consider it. Like,
no, they 100%. But this is what I was thinking too. Is I feel like Tony is like, he probably would have wanted to offer a deal, but because that's what everyone on the internet is telling him to do to make his company better, to make his division better, just because of that, just like a Vince McMahon would, he's not going to do it. Is what I think.
Let me ask you this: if you shun Hulk Hogan, and then all of a sudden Tessa comes around and you offer a contract, does it look like you're a hypocrite?
I would think so, because one of the people that spoke out against Tessa works for their company, which is Big Swole.
Young Buck's favorite thing is when we talk about race and wrestling.
Yeah, look at him, he's smiling.
Thing. That's why I think it's such a big deal that there's so much minority champions now, because wrestling has had such a long reputation to be racist. And in the 80s, can you imagine being a black wrestler?
Who is it? We got on the main roster. Who did we have?
The New Day.
New Day.
We have R-Truth, number 1. R-Truth.
Oh yeah, no, he's the longest reigning. You're right. R-Truth. Apollo Crews. We have Asuka. We have Sasha Banks and Bayley. The New Day.
Especially Bayley.
Yeah, especially Bayley. Yeah, she's double up. I forgot about that. And then who
Are we frozen? Oh no. Did he freeze? Who's Bailey? Bailey's the one that got
I don't know. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay, yeah.
That was so weird. Everything just like, you guys were just staring at me with the same face. I'm like, I don't think they could hear me. But yeah, the Street Profits.
Street Profits.
I guess not.
Yeah, then you have
Braun
Keith Lee
Strowman's
doubling
white.
up.
Braun Strowman's white, guys. Sorry.
So yeah, Braun Strowman, Drew McIntyre.
Who's in? Oh no, and then AJ Styles is white too, so he's IC10.
So let me ask you this, because I'm white and I feel like I could ask very uncomfortable questions. What do you think? What do you think is more important or impactful? Like Kofi Kingston being champion and the rest being white, or having 11 out of 14 minority champions?
I don't know if I could answer whether one or the other is more important or more significant. I think I can tell you that one wouldn't have happened without the other one for sure. I think that the Kofi moment was, that's what the Kofi moment is. One of those lovable things like I love about wrestling, when an opportunity presents itself, or like the universe works its way something out for a certain somebody, things you couldn't even have planned better if you were trying to plan ahead. The Kofi situation was a crazy one because, the Mustafa Ali situation, he was able to get his momentum going, and the people wanted to see it. I thought it was a huge move for them to do that and show them that they do have confidence for not just, a character that's like Kofi Kingston, but just people of color, athletes of color, people that they, it shows that they value what they have and think that they bring value to their company as well to want to put a belt around someone like that. I think this could have been an eye-opener because, dude, honestly, before Kofi, I can't think of the last person that's held that title. Some people would like to say, oh, Bobby Lashley had the ECW title, but that's not the same. Mark Henry had the World Heavyweight title. That's definitely not the same because that title was always secondary because of the fact it was the old WCW. So they treated it as such. People like they bring up The Rock, which is true, but, there's people who have different opinions about it like me. But the fact that we can look around and see so many.
Do you not think The Rock is black?
It's not that. It's the fact that they never. This is why. It wasn't looked at that way. It wasn't presented that way. They never talked about The Rock being black. The Rock was always Samoan.
He was in the Nation of Domination.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
And so was Owen Hart, right?
So you guys are making.
I don't remember. I never knew that.
Owen, you never knew what? Owen Hart. Yes.
I never knew that.
Yeah,
probably one of the best members.
Should we get back to wrestling?
This is wrestling, damn it. But but just to answer your question, I think it's amazing that we could look around and see so many positive examples, and that is I think just a telling picture, you know what I mean? And I'm hoping that that's not something that's just done for now, given the here we go controversy, racial climate right now. So WWE is like, well, we didn't tweet Black Lives Matter, but take a look at the roster.
Outside of maybe the Keith Lee win, the reason I kind of bring it up is like I feel like the WWE could just like, here, we noticed something's going on in the world. Here's a bunch of titles, but we're still not going to put the main ones on.
Yeah.
And I feel like, whereas with the Kofi Kingston moment, you had MVP and Shed Gaspar crying.
They gave Kofi a great push, man. They gave Kofi a great push.
And now MVP's like, hey, I'm gonna beef with Apollo Crews, because kayfabe and reality are all the same thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But that's how wrestling works. This is my number one complaint with the wrestling community on the internet. Everybody cannot get pushed at the same time. You're up here and then you're down here, and then you're up and you're down. That's the problem.
I agree.
I think what it is too is it's hard being a fan because when they actually do something with somebody you want to see them doing something with, it's like maybe a one-time thing, and then they never go back to them, or they have them doing something that they lose, or they're taking a loss or something, and then you don't see them ever back in any type of prominence. So I can understand the frustration of people, and I agree with you. You can't push everybody to the moon because then someone has to take an L and build the other people. But again, and this could be a precursor for probably next week's episode if you guys want to discuss it, is WWE has failed to really create any new superstars, bro. Like we can name a couple, but before we could name at least 5 or 6, 7 on our hands. You know what I mean? Like
I was really hopeful for Drew McIntyre to kind of hit that mainstream, right?
I'm
COVID
still
happened.
hoping for it because it's obviously. I mean, I feel bad for him because of what's going on.
It's tough to happen with no fans. You can't.
Yeah, but you know what? I've been enjoying his run though. I've been enjoying his matches. It just it's a shame that you can't do more impact wise than what you can do, which is just writing what's supposed to happen to a show and then hoping the next morning you get the preferred, desired, reaction to it.
But nothing's gonna slow down a championship run like an early summer feud with Dolph Ziggler.
Dude, but you're right, because this time last year, who was it then? It was Kofi Kingston.
Right.
Doing the same thing. And it should have been me. It's like, why? I don't understand.
But all I got to say really quick, I know we don't have a lot of time, but
Oh, no. You got any closing thoughts just in case he can't do it?
Well, while the universe puts Baca on pause.
Gavin Newsom, man. Gavin Newsom. Damn, man.
That's all we needed. That's all we needed.
Yeah.
Right?
That Elimination Chamber match was one of the best moments I've ever had as a wrestling fan. And I was a grown man at that point, but I was invested.
Oh, for Kofi? That was amazing.
Keep in mind that feud also worked because of how good Daniel Bryan was.
Oh, well, and then the fact that Daniel Bryan was one of the
100%. Yep.
He paid it forward. That's what he did.
Yeah.
He paid it forward.
He always does. That guy is the most unselfish man that I know. It seems like every month he's jobbing for somebody.
No, you're right. No, you're right. Because even towards the end, he was putting over Gulak and Heath Slater. But you know what, man? We're probably gonna have to continue this next week.
Mm-hmm.
As it's too hot for 1 week, man. We got to carry over to the next week. But this has been another episode of the Flow Show. It's Quincy Jones, Brian Andrew, and Young Baca. Follow us on all social media, and we are out.